Welcome to join us again on Talking Point. Dr. Lisa Aubrey, welcome to be part of Talking Point.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
I'm happy to be here.
Now, you're one of the Cameroonian Americans who trace their ancestral origins to Cameroon. How did that whole idea come about, Doctor?
Well, we in the diaspora have longed for generations to know where we come from. It has been the preoccupation of many of our ancestors. I was very fortunate to have an opportunity to be on the ground to plan for the first reconnection program organized by the Arc Jammers. The first program was 2010. In December lasted 10 days. The second program was just completed last week.
Now, the second program was completed just last week.
Yes.
And here you plan to stay on. What do you intend to be doing during your stay here?
Reconnecting with family here. I have had a wonderful opportunity to do research that tells us about our past. I've had an opportunity to do historical research about the slave trade that took us and dispersed us in the so-called New World. With the assistance of 7 undergraduate students at Arizona State University, we were able to identify 135 ships that left what was called the Cameroon territory at the time. We know that some left from Bimbia and some left from Buri here, as well as other locations. So part of what I have been doing is trying to unearth other information that will help us reconstruct a very important history.
Now, what do you really intend to achieve? Because some people have the impression that you are some wealthy Americans who maybe lack what to do with the funds they have and they just on a safari trip. So what do you intend to...
They are so misinformed.
What is the real information?
Well, as I said, we have long known that Africa is our home, and we want to be rooted from a place that we did not ask to leave. We have had this longing for a very long time. We know that we are not complete without our family. We know that our family is not complete without us. We know that to move forward, we have to be back together again. And when I say move forward, I mean that in many senses. I mean that in the social and cultural sense, that is the family, the unit. I also mean that in the development sense, that we are strong when all of the links are together. I think that there is much that we can do with the capital that we have, not only financial.
What are you planning to do? Are there any particular projects you're planning to maybe?
We're going to get there, but I think that there is the human capital as well, there's the cultural capital as well, and I think what we need from the diaspora, in the diaspora, is the healing wisdom that comes from Africa. That has to be established first before I think we move too quickly to talk about what major projects we're going to embark on. I think if you look around, there are people that are already making contributions on the ground.
Like which contribution, if we may find out?
Well, there is support for schools.
Yes.
We plan to work on some medical clinics. There are people working with youth. There are a number of things that are being discussed.
Okay.
Cultural exchanges, and that's all really important. So I think that there's a lot that we can do, but I think that our ontological foundation as Africans, as a unit that has to be established. And I think we're going to press on with this, and all of us will be better. All of us will be well. We'll find that
It's
we
a
are
mutual, beneficial
Yes,
kind
yes.
of endeavor.
Yes.
Now, before I come to the question on how reliable the DNA test may be,
Yes.
I want to believe you visited some areas in Cameroon. You spoke about Bimbia. Where have
Yes.
you been to again? And which are the difficulties you face in the course of trying to reconnect yourself to your own people?
Well, I was on the trip last year as well, so I'm very fortunate to have been here twice. Last year we spent time here in Douala, and Bimbia was the focal point.
Yeah.
With my students, we were able to locate Bimbia as a site where the slave trade occurred. There are several of the 135 ships. I wish that I could have an
See one of the
opportunity
ships,
to
oh.
project some information here, because we've gotten demographic data on the ships, their national origin, the number of people embarked, the number of people disembarked. We've calculated mortality rates. So there's lots of information. 26 of those ships went to Grenada.
Yes.
And that's very important to know where the diaspora is. One of the things we've also been able to do is to counter the misconception that Cameroon was insignificant in the slave trade in terms of the people that were taken.
Yes.
Instead, what we are finding is that Cameroon may be an epicenter where many, many people were taken.
Way back for the Western world.
Yes.
Now, what has been the reaction of the government, maybe the Minister of External Relations and other bodies towards what you're trying to do? Have they been of assistance to you? What are they doing concretely?
Well, I think that question could best be answered by ArcJammers, because they are the ones, a civil society group from this country that initiated this. My impression has been one of welcome.
Yes.
Last year, I met with that ministry. They seem to be excited about what is going on. What has shocked us that come from the U.S. and Haiti, Brazil, is that the slave trade is not discussed
It's not discussed well
in this
Cameroon.
country. Yes.
Well, what do you
When
expect
we-
us to discuss about slave trade?
When we located Bimbia, I told Eric Chinji,
Yes.
and who graciously said to me that I don't know this place, I don't know this location. Other people also said the same, and I said, no, please, we have to check. And I'm in Arizona, and he's in Washington, so they got a local person to go to Bimbia to talk to the elders to find out what happened at this location. And when you ask, what do I expect Cameroonians
Because
to
it
talk
seems
about?
It's kind of you can awaken some kind of nostalgic feelings, and you
Yes.
might say they are provoked, remembering how their parents.
Yes, and I think that's part of the healing. I think we have to deal with it even if it's a very painful past. And we have been carrying this for generations, a longing for home that just seems to be out of reach for us.
Okay.
And we need that connection to heal. When Mustafa, the art jammer, went to Bimbia, he sought out the elders, and they said to him, okay, but come back in a day or two. They gave him an appointment. And when he went back, they asked him, as he recounts, who wants to know, and why do you want to know, and why are you asking questions nobody has asked in over 100 years? So that says to me that it's a very important question, a very important history. I've also talked to others who are in Cameroon who said, I've not said this before, we don't talk about it, but we have rituals for our family members that we know who were taken.
So we know there are tribes in Cameroon, and you are in the course of maybe tracing your ancestral origin. You have identified yourself with which tribe so far?
Well,
Wala, Bamileke, Bassa, where do you belong? Reliability of the DNA test.
My name is Muni.
Yes.
Can you trace that?
Well, it's Moni.
Yeah.
From, is it a Douala name? I can't really tell.
It's a Bimbian.
It's a Bimbian name. Were you just given that name when you came back, or you came with the name because I see your name is Lisa Audrey?
Aubrey.
Yes.
Well, it is Muni,
Yes.
Lisa Aubrey.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the name they gave you at birth?
In a spiritual sense, yes. I've always had this name.
Okay.
But part of the reconnection is discovering what we've always had, but we have been denied the opportunity to know.
The truth.
Yes.
How reliable is this DNA test? Because somebody might say, I might trace my origin to America today. So, yes. How reliable are the tests?
Well, there is a geneticist, Dr. Rick Kittles, who was here on the trip. He developed the technology. He would be the best person to answer that, but I can tell you that people whose, there was a woman on the trip, Denise Barnes, it was her second time. She traced her roots. Her mom was not sure. The DNA test said TCAR, and her mom said, I don't know about this test. And her mom took the test, and it said the same.
Okay.
There are others on the trip who have had their tests done, not only by Dr. Kittles, but by others as well. And the results come out the same.
Okay. Dr. Lisa Aubrey, you are a researcher on ancestral recognition. We want to thank you sincerely to be part of us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
We are live on Equinox Television, broadcasting from Douala in Cameroon. We want to thank you to televiewers for watching. The news in French comes over exactly 8 p.m. local time. Until then, so long.